What's up, everybody? If anybody's out there. So, I didn't plan to go live today at all, but I had a free moment and I've been getting a lot of questions about my vitamin D deficiency. So, I wanted to take an opportunity while I had a free moment to jump on and see if anybody was out there. Anybody out there? To see if anyone's out there. And if you have any questions, now would be a great time for us to talk or chat about it. Had I known in advance, I would have posted this up in advance, but I figured since I have a little while, I'll jump on and see if anybody is watching. So I will wait and give it a little while to see if anyone comes in. If not, I'll do it in a more appropriate way by posting up a particular time that I plan on going live. And then I'll go live again, either more than likely tomorrow. But for now, I'm just chilling at home, self-isolating like everyone else, and taking a opportunity to catch up on some homework. And I was listening to some music, which I don't know if I could play my music on live or how that goes, so I just stopped it. But if anyone is watching and you have any questions that you wanted to ask about vitamin D deficiency or my recovery or where I've been, or at this point, just pretty much whatever, let's talk about it. I know that we're on quarantine right now. I hope that you all are somewhere safe and are doing well right now, and that your family and friends are well also. And my prayer is that we get through this with whew, the least amount. I don't even really want to say like the least amount of people passing, because I don't want anyone to pass from this at all whatsoever. But I do pray that we get through this kind of swiftly. And yeah. So I'm just going to kick it around for a minute and keep looking and seeing if anyone is going to come in. If not, you guys can also catch me on Instagram, where I will be doing live video and we can talk over there. My Instagram handle is I am Indeed Love. That's INDEED Love, LOVE. So yeah, I kind of want to listen to my music. Maybe I'll put some headphones on and listen while I wait. Let me see. I have to put my glasses on so I can see if anyone is in here. There is no one here. I'm in this room all by myself. In this room all by myself. I wonder would I get a YouTube strike if I played music in the meantime. I'm not for sure. Let me Google that. Let me see. If I can play music, I'm going to play music while I wait, because I'm sure one of you, somebody's coming in here. Somebody's coming in here. And I'm going to wait. I'm going to see. Let me look that up real quick. I don't really want to exit. No, I don't want to exit. Can music be played on YouTube? I do not know. What type of music can I play during live streams? Ah, They could never just answer questions so simple. Free music or sound effects. No! Oh, brother. Well, I don't want any copyright strikes, so we're gonna leave the music element out of it. So in the meantime, I'll just talk and I'll answer a bunch of questions that you guys have asked. So let me just do that. I'll go and pull up some questions. Let's see. All right, so let's see what we have here. So there are quite a bit of comments that I haven't had the opportunity to respond to just yet. So let's see, I'm gonna unplug this. So Sophie, what is that? Muradov? Sophie Muradov. So Sophie Muradov asked, let me move this over here. So Sophie Muradov asked, or she said, thank you for your videos. Feeling less alone, knowing that there are other people suffering with this. I was wondering if you had any bad side effects from the 50,000 IUD2. Ever since I started taking it, I have been having worryings. Ooh, what she put? A worrisome bone pain and more crackling all over my body that wasn't there before. Even my forearm has gotten swollen. Is this normal? Did you experience any of this and does it heal? I just feel like I've made myself worse. All right, so when I took the D2, and I mentioned this like in a few videos, but I'm happy that she actually asked that question. When I took the D2 50,000, my body could not tolerate it at all whatsoever. I did have a lot of bone pain. I won't necessarily say that it came from the D2. I don't know what it came from, if it was the deficiency or if it was the vitamin D, but I had an extreme amount of bone pain. My back was hurting, my joints were crackling. At one point, it was really hard for me to walk. I did have a situation that I had to go to the ER, and they were trying to do an MRI. I think that's what it is, or yeah, it was an MRI. And so I had to get on the machine that you lay down on, and I couldn't bend my back at all. It was almost as if I had sciatica or something like that. I couldn't bend, and I had to kind of be helped to like be placed on the machine. The pain that I was experiencing was excruciating. I'm talking, I cried. I thought something was seriously wrong. And to this day, I don't know why that happened. It went on for a couple of weeks. So I just remember the night that it began, I was home. I slept on a mattress actually I just moved. And so like I had the mattress on the floor while I'm setting up the home and just kind of laid on that tired and went to bed. And when I got up in the morning, I was just in excruciating pain. This was around the time that I was aware of the vitamin D deficiency and had been working on it a little bit, but still was in the early stages of the learning process of, understanding what was happening, what the deficiency was, and so on and so forth. So I did experience a lot of pain. What the 50,000 I noticed did for me was Excuse me. Excuse me. So for me, why I stopped using the 50,000 IU is because it was making me anxious. And I've had small episodes of anxiety here and there throughout I would say like probably throughout the last 10, 15 years. But when I say small, I mean small. And mostly, excuse me, I'm here by myself. I have hand sanitizer over there. But mostly I've noticed that I would get anxiety when I drank too much coffee. And excuse me, that was the time that my anxiety pretty much began, was when I was ODing on Starbucks. So outside of that, I don't remember having, full on anxiety. But what was happening to me when I took the 50,000 was unlike anything I've ever experienced. I had my heart would race. I'm talking like I just ran, ran track or something while I was sitting still. My heart would race like that. And I was having a real hard time driving. And I just remember I would be driving to work and it was as if I couldn't get enough air. Like I just could not get enough air. And I would get really internally shaky, like tremors almost. I'd look fine on the outside because I've had a few of these episodes like at work or around friends, and they were not able to notice. Like they're like, but you look fine. And I would just tell them I'm having a real bad anxiety attack right now. And just kind of give me a minute. And they're like, wow, if you didn't say anything, I would not have known it. But yeah. So I did experience really bad anxiety. I did experience my heart racing, and just not feeling well. I did not do well with the 50,000. So I started to reduce that amount, and I noticed, y'all have to pardon me. That's my MC voice, and ooh, it just, yeah, I'm always clearing my throat. But what I noticed was I started, reducing the amount of the vitamin D that I was taking. And even right now, if I were to take 4,000 or anything close to that, sometimes even 2,000, depending on the brand, I get shaky. So I still don't quite know what that's about, but I do know that I'm not the only one. So I have heard other people mention that they were struggling taking a 50,000. It was just too much for their system. And my mom, she took the 50,000. She did okay on it, but she just said she just had like hella energy. Like when she took the 50,000, I noticed she like did her whole yard and oh, I want to plant this and do that and clean this, and it was just like she was just zipping around. She had energy for days, and then towards the end of the week she would start to kind of come down. But then around that time, it was time to take another dose. So she got a lot of energy from it. What else to answer in her question? Um, so yeah, I did experience bone pain. I don't do well with the 50,000. I don't take 50,000 and I haven't in years. And I try to get my vitamin D either, out of a regular multivitamin that has a much lower dosage. That's what I'm taking currently, but we'll get into that momentarily. Next question is, so did you stop taking the 50,000 or did you continue to with the 5,000? This is from Kadrina Scofield. So yeah, I just mentioned I did stop taking the 50,000. I stopped that a long time ago. I honestly never made it through the full 8 weeks of taking 50,000. I think I made it to week 5, and then I just could not do it anymore at all whatsoever. I mean, I was shaking like a leaf on a tree. I was feeling like I was not myself. And honestly, I don't ever want to feel anything like that again. I was taking the 5,000, but I noticed that that was too much for me. If I take 5,000, maybe I could take it one day and then maybe not have it for, you know, 3 or 4 days later. But, to me, that kind of defeats the purpose. So, no, I don't take 5,000 either. The most I would take right now is 2,000. And I don't take that on a regular basis either. So, yeah. Um, your hair. Asia Taiwan asks, your hair, is it back to normal density? My hair is back to normal density. So if you guys had an opportunity to see, or if you've been following for a long time, I had to cut all my hair off. Yeah, chick was bald headed. But no, I cut all my hair off for 2 reasons. One, I cut my hair off because just emotionally, I couldn't look at it. Um, I got tired of looking at it, and at the time that my hair began to fall out, it was like the longest I've ever grown my hair, or that I've ever taken the time to grow my hair outside of when I had locks. And so for me to see it just, fall out in clunks like that, I kind of felt like I wasn't in control. And just watching it just, continue to just, yeah, it was rough. Um, I had grown my hair. I was doing the whole natural hair thing, which I've done, numerous times throughout my life before it was even a thing or before it was even popular. And I finally grew it loosely mid back. And so again, that was a first for me. So to watch it just start coming out by the handfuls was crazy. So I did, is anyone in here yet? Nope. So I did have to cut it. I did choose to cut it. It was very thin. It was very, thank God it wasn't patchy, but it was definitely thin. And so I cut it short. And then I had a moment that I cut it completely off, like completely bald, like bald, bald. So I wore that for, just so I can get a fresh start. My hair is now back. My length is coming back, and my density is, I would say it's almost there. It does need some, some work, and it's not as full, I would say, like in some areas in the front, but I'm not necessarily for sure if that's, the vitamin D or not. So I would say that I made a full recovery with my hair from the vitamin D or anemia aspect. Now it's just on me and how I choose to take care of it and what I choose to do with it, because I'm in school, I'm ripping and running a lot. I do my hair myself, and sometimes I do neglect it. I do. And so I have to be better about that. And I know better. I've been I'm licensed. I have my cosmetology license. I've had that for years, which I hate doing hair. So there's that. But yeah. So to answer your question, yes, my density did come back. My hair did grow. What I'm taking right now for my hair is I'm using hair, skin, and nail vitamin, which is a powder form. I put a scoop of it into my smoothie every day, and I kind of just, go that way with it. But it's been working. My nails are, they're beat up right now, but my nails grew back, and I had a situation with my nails about 3 months ago, maybe like January, where I went to a salon. I never get my nails done, and I treated myself to get them done, and it was a very horrible experience. And so I had to let my nails grow out. So this is them now. This is just my natural nail, and that's, I guess if you didn't know what happened, like my nails, they were like down in here. They were filed so thin at the nail salon that they were, had I gotten them done once more, um the tech would have gone straight down into my nail bed. Like it would have been no nail on it. It was practically no nail on my fingers. So this is like, I wasn't for sure it was even going to grow back. So yeah, this is my nails now. I'm not going to show you all of them because they so busted, but they're just growing back from that incident. But yeah, to answer my question, answer your question, yes, my hair is back and the density is there. But I did change my diet. I do take a vitamin and or a multivitamin to help assist in my hair growing back. I am taking better care of it. I'm washing it regularly, which I do that anyhow. But upon washing it, I'm also doing massages to my scalp and oil in my scalp. And I'm really focused on it to get it to grow back. So, yeah, and I made some hair changes. So I'm not natural anymore. But I did that to suit my lifestyle at this time. All right, let's see. Go. Um, said, well, they have a few, so let's see. I guess I'll start from the bottom and go up. They said, I also have vitamin D deficiency. My body aches a lot, mostly my knee joints with crackling sounds. I was worried and depressed. I couldn't sleep also because of body aches. My vitamin B12 levels are also low. Thank God I got it checked. No doctor asked for these tests. I asked for the test to be done. Sometimes you have to be assertive and you have to ask for the testing to be done. When I found out about vitamin D deficiency, my vitamin D deficiency, I didn't find out because a doctor took the test. I found out because I requested to have the test done after, to be all honest, after being on YouTube and kind of, trying to piece things together for a while. And that's how I found out that I had vitamin D deficiency, was by making them do the test. And the doctor I had at the time, not to, speak badly about doctors, because I am very fond of, healthcare workers. I feel like you need a doctor. So a lot of people that come on my videos, you will notice I will tell you, make sure that you go and see your doctor. So do not try to just do this alone. Go and find out from your doctor what your levels and things are. If they don't initiate it, then you initiate it. Ask, can you give me a vitamin D deficiency test? Because I feel this way and I want to know what my levels are. And so they should give you the test then. So, what else? Let's see. Go. Also said, I also feel pain in my breast and a clear kind of fluid coming out. I got scared and got my mammogram done. Thank God, reports are clear. Thank God, I'm happy that your reports were clear as well. Um, Ladies that are watching, anytime you see any sort of discharge from your breast area, make sure that you go and see your doctor, get a mammogram, get some sort of testing done, because that is nothing at all to play with. I have family members that survived breast cancer, thank God, and it's just really, really nothing to play with. So I'm happy to hear that everything is working out well. And she lastly asked, please tell how to overcome B12 deficiency via food. What I would recommend, and something that I've done personally for myself throughout this learning process, is I have taken time to go on not only YouTube, but I Google a lot of stuff. And I read the back of packages of foods that I'm eating. And when it comes to fruits and vegetables, I Google like the nutritional value in them to find out what vitamins they're, most noted for having in each fruit and vegetable, so that I could see what could help meet my needs. So I would recommend Googling or, trying to find out what fruits or vegetables have B12 in it, I would start there. And or seeing what are some other ways that you can get B12. I know they have the tablets, and those seem to work well for people. I've seen, you know, heard vegan people use the tablets. My aunt, she gave me B12 tablets when I was going through my vitamin D deficiency because she was deficient, and she also said that she was informed to take B12 in addition to her taking her, you know, vitamin D and everything else that she takes. But that's her and her body. So I don't know what all other issues that she has, but yeah, she did take B12. So that should be easy to find. But if you want to know what food sources have B12, the easiest thing to do is just look it up. Just look it up on, just Google it. Let's see. Leah Clinton, sorry if I'm squinting. I wear glasses, but I'm trying not to put them on because of the reflection. All right, so Leah Clinton, my levels were a 7. I feel all these symptoms from my head to my legs. I always have brain fog or dizzy feeling, weird sensations in my head. Soon as I start to eat, I feel nauseous. I'm crying, anxiety when driving. That's a real thing. The aches and, oh God, my chest. I don't know if it's my breast or heart muscles, so there's a muscle pain. It's so sad and scary all at the same time. I didn't experience hair loss, but it got thin. And she has a long comment. Thank you, Leah, for this comment. Also, guys, listen. The comment section is not for me just to read and respond to people. Go in the comment section. Read the comments that other people leave because there may be some information in there that could help you. It might be something that someone else is experiencing that is the same as you. When I was going through this, I was doing these things, but I was just doing it naturally and accordingly. But the comment section on some of these videos is what saved me because I was tripping. I thought that only I was going through this, and when you're experiencing something that is weird or foreign to your body, you're like, oh my God, am I the only person that is going through this? And when you find that other people are experiencing it as well, it just kind of gives a peace. I don't know. It did that for me. I felt a sense of calm come over me a little bit, you know, like, okay, I'm not the only person that's going through this. There are other people that are dealing with the same thing. And then as I read the comments on other people's videos, I was able to, you know, pinpoint, oh, wow, this person has that. That's what I'm feeling. This person said this. I feel that, you know. So when I went to the doctor, it also helped me know what to ask for, you know, or what to say. I have to put my glasses on, y'all. Ain't nobody up in here 28 minutes. Y'all just don't love a chick. Y'all just don't love it. No, I really should have just put this up that I was going to go live, but I am going to keep going, and you guys can come back and watch it if you want. But she was saying that her levels were a 7. She gets a lot of symptoms in her body. That is something that I experience, and that you'll hear a lot of people saying that they experience with vitamin D deficiency. A lot of bone aches, body aches, and pains. A lot of just not feeling yourself. And anxiety is a definite issue with vitamin D deficiency. So many people speak about having anxiety. And the thing that I didn't like about the anxiety when I spoke about it, not at all of the doctors that I went to, but I do feel like a few of them didn't take it seriously. They're just kind of like, oh, you have anxiety. Okay, well, here, take these pills. I'm not a pill popper, and I try to be as natural as possible. And I do not like just someone shoving pills off on me and just, you know, okay, yeah, here, take this, take 2 of these and call me in the morning. I don't get down like that. So for me, I was a little annoyed with one doctor that I had because he just was not taking it seriously, and he kept referring everything back to, you know, maybe it being, hormonal in the sense of like, oh, you need to speak with your gynecologist about that. And I'm like, okay, fine. The first time I did speak with my gynecologist, and she's like, no, he needs to get on his JLB. And there's that. So shots were fired. I went back to him, and he just kind of didn't have the compassion I needed, which is why he's not my doctor anymore. But I did not appreciate, that yeah, people have anxiety, and we do go through things in our life that could spark that. But I don't like when people are dismissive and not wanting to get the full story or the full, of what's going on. And, I found that it was quicker to say, oh, you have anxiety, but that was much faster than actually testing me for vitamin D deficiency. So I took issue with that and moved on and found a new doctor. So there. I'll do one more, and then I'm gonna hit on. I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna get up out of here. All right. So B29able. I hope I'm saying that right. B29able. I like how that is written, but I don't know if I'm saying it right. So B29able says, hey, indeed, you said you had really bad insomnia. Was this from your low vitamin D? Did it ever improve? Was your insomnia really bad? I have terrible insomnia, like I can't get sleepy and get into a deep sleep. I only have very light, shallow sleep where I dream a lot and feel half awake. I wake up feeling like I never slept. Did you have this? How long did you have it? My levels are now at a 31 from a 17, but no improvement. So, yes and yes. So, I had horrible issues sleeping. I'm not having them now, but when my vitamin D was low, I had a lot of anxiety. I was always triggered, like always feeling shaky. I had restless leg syndrome, like I would lay in the bed and it would just feel like things was just going up and down my leg, like, all night long. It would not stop. Um, I was not getting good quality sleep, and I will wake up feeling tired and drained the next day and the next day and the next day. And this was a vicious cycle that went on for months. It went on so much, in fact, that I ended up getting sleep analysis done. So I did have that done twice, where I had to go and get, the sleep studies done and stay overnight. But the thing about that is, you're used to sleeping in your own bed. So when you go away to this place to, do the sleep studies, you're in a foreign bed, you're in this room. And then, like, when I did fall asleep, I'm like hearing the people, they'll start talking like, hey, indeed. And I'm like, oh, you like just woke me up. So it wasn't the most comfortable atmosphere to sleep in. And I think they were more so geared towards finding out if I had sleep apnea, which I guess it was a split decision on that. At one place, I was told I did, and then at another time, I was told I didn't. I do experience sleep paralysis. That is another video for another day. Um, if anyone has ever experienced that or is familiar with it, it's an extremely scary thing, but I have experienced that throughout my life since childhood. It's not every night, but it is something that I do experience, which is another reason why I had the sleep studies done. But yeah, if you're experiencing insomnia, I would recommend getting a sleep study done, even though, you might go and you might be able to fall asleep there. Or they might find, something else that's going on, neurological um, issues or something like that. But they might be able to help. but I did experience insomnia really badly. Overall, what I think helped me get to kind of like the place that I'm in right now, which is light years away from where I was, is the changes that I had to make in my life and for myself. So I try to talk about that in each video, but it's just the truth. When things happen, we can't just wait for it to just resolve. We have to look at, okay, what changes can I make? What is it that I may or may not be doing correctly? What is it that I can do a little bit better at when it comes to my body? And so those are things that I had to address. One, I was under hella stress during the time that my vitamin D was low. And we all know that stress, cortisol, will deplete your body of nutrients that it needs. I was mentally stressed and I was physically stressed. At the time that all of the vitamin D deficiency and anemia, which I am also anemic, at the time that these really were hitting me, I was in school um, doing my undergrad degree, and I didn't realize what was happening. I just started noticing that I would be running for the train and I would just get completely out of breath. Like I'm talking Primatene Miss commercial, out of breath. Okay. I would have to sit down and then I would panic. I would like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Because it was weird and I didn't know what was going on. In retrospect, I think that was the iron, the anemia, and the vitamin D at that time. But I wasn't aware of it yet. And then after I graduated, I decided to work and go back to school doing a barbering program. And I was was I in school still, or I was returning to I was trying to do 2 school programs and work and side hustle and doing too damn much, doing absolutely too much. And that's when this really just grabbed the chick by the neck and just was like, actually sit your ass down. So I was stressed. I thought I was eating correctly, but looking back, I was eating absolute trash. I was always on the go, so I was eating on the go. I was grabbing something to eat. Like, oh, let me just grab something to eat. Let me grab something for lunch. Oh, let me grab something to eat for dinner. I was grabbing something to eat all the time. And so I would eat a salad for lunch. That little salad was not getting it. And I was missing a lot of nutrients. I wasn't taking, oh, was I taking a multivitamin? I wasn't taking a multivitamin at that time. And my body needed to rest. So I think sometimes when we don't do what we're supposed to do, our bodies will shut us on down. And so, unfortunately, I had to go through that, but that's what happened. So the changes that I've made that I think were the most significant changes probably in the past 2 years were my wardrobe has changed, especially in summer. In summer, I am tank top, shorts, skirt. I didn't really dress like that, sometimes, but mostly I was, covered a lot. And now I just do not care. Like I care, but I don't care. And so I get a lot of sun exposure on my skin when I can, but I do live upstate. There's not a lot of sun here, so I still have to do other things. I looked up what foods are rich, in vitamin D, which is a hormone. It really comes from the sun. But there's some things I eat the whole egg now as opposed to eating egg yolks. I mean just egg whites which is something I used to do before. And I eat things that are fortified with vitamin D now, and foods that are fortified with iron. And I made a lot of dietary changes for the better. Not anything drastic, which is something I think helped me. I think at one point I was trying to do the super, super healthy thing, and I was feeling sick. It was not working. And then I just had a day that I was like, you know what, F all of this. I'm not doing a keto or a vegan or any of that. I am going to eat what I want. And the game changer for me at the time was I incorporated beef. Oh no, I did not want to eat a cow, but I had to incorporate beef back into my diet just to see if it would make a difference. So I don't eat it often. I'm not really a fan of beef. At the time, I hadn't eaten beef in 27 years. So it's quite a long time to go without eating something. So, one, I was nervous about eating it again, but I did feel a little bit better. And then I just took, you know, everything to another level. So I started eating more fruits, more vegetables, and I stopped BSing myself, making myself feel like I was eating healthy. I really started eating more fruits, more vegetables, um, less junk. Had to cut out the donuts because I was tripping. When I look back at my diet, I was bugging. I was donuts and ice cream and pizza and this. But I also was moving back to home, with foods that I hadn't had in like 6 or 7 years living in New York City. So when I got back home, I was hitting up all these all these spots, eating everything that I haven't eaten in years. And it caught up to me on my around my waist, but it also caught up to me with how I was feeling. Just because you're eating and you're chewing on something doesn't mean that you're necessarily eating the right thing. We should all know that at this time. So now I feel a lot better. And the other big game changer for me was finding out about my anemia and really getting an understanding of how that was affecting my body. I honestly think that finding out that I was anemic has been the more significant even than the vitamin D deficiency. Like it all needed to be resolved, but our bodies want to be harmonious. And I say it before and I'll say it again. When you are deficient in something, you're more than likely deficient in other things. So when you go to get your testing done, get testing all around, really look at the results and try to take heed to what those results mean for your body and the changes that it is that you need to make. You might need to eat a more vast diet with a wider variety of foods, healthy foods, and eat a little cleaner. And you are the only person that is in charge of doing that unless you have a personal chef at home. I do not have a personal chef, so I had to step it up and do what I needed to do. So I am going to stop there. Any other questions that I have or comments that I have, I'm going to respond to them. If you know me already, you know that if you leave a comment in the comment section, I will respond to it. I'm a little bit slow right now because I'm in school and I have a lot of other things that I'm working on. But even if it gets a week old or 2 weeks old, I will go back and find the comment. The only way I won't respond to your comment is if I don't see it and if it just flies out there in the YouTube atmosphere somewhere that I can't see it on the page. But otherwise, I respond to each and every comment unless you're saying something rude. Don't do that. I've had a few comments, a little rude comments. Look, we know the screen is right here and I can't get to you. So don't even do it. If you got something to say, just keep it to yourself because it's not fair to try to rile me up on this end and I can't reach you through this screen. Okay? And don't say anything to me or anyone else on here that you wouldn't say face to face. And I know how I roll. So I know face to face, you wouldn't say it. So don't say it in the comment section. All right. So I am going to leave it at that. And hopefully someone finds this video useful. Yeah, I didn't get anybody in here to talk to. But it's all good, you know. It's all good. Does anybody know? No. Oh, I had a viewer. I hope you wasn't asking me anything because I sure didn't see it. Where is it? Why can't I see? If you said something, hon, I did not see it, whoever you are. I wonder why it's not even showing up. But if you said something, just drop it down in the comment section below, and I'll go to your comment right now. And I will go and respond and type you out a message. So I hope this was helpful. Be good. Stay safe. Listen, I'm not going to say the word. We all know what we're dealing with and going through right now. Be as optimistic as you can. Don't sit around watching this news all day. Don't let... I know that what's happening is very, very real. It is very real. But we can only do the things that are in our control. Try to eat right, get your immune system up, love on your family and friends, call and check up on people that you may not have talked to in a while, and pray, really pray and stay optimistic. We really need that vibration, so be guarded. Be guarded by the information that is being spewed at you and changed and changed and changed, each and every day. And just use this time productively, wisely, and just, be still and calm, as much as you can. So I love you guys and take care. One love.